Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome to Celestial Oracle Codes. So, today, this is not going to be a super long reading, but I have been called to my spiritual team, the Guardians, the Guides. The Most High wants the sovereign stability index used. So, there's some integrations that need to be had, some actions that maybe need to be taken, and some truths about reality that need to be accepted. Okay, so that's the message that is coming through. So this message is truly wrapped around the fact that you were never missing anything, and anything that you were looking for outside of you was actually inside of you. And don't worry, we'll explain that in this reading. But just know, if this message found you, okay? Let me get my little microphone here. If this message found you, then I don't want it to be all in the camera though. But yeah, if this message found you, then there is something your spirit already knows. And even if your mind still, okay, even if your mind is still trying to catch up, right? Because the energy coming through today is very clear, okay? Wow. The energy coming through today is very clear. And look, this card wasn't even in here, and I like flipped it out, and it came out from in between these cards. So why is the Five of Cups from my Rider-Waite deck in this Oracle deck, right? Why is that? So that lets me know that there's something, for some of you, that equals a change in the way that you're approaching emotions in general, the way that you're approaching the world and feeling through this world, using your emotions and intuition to navigate situations in new ways. For others, this has been the release of emotional conflict that has been in your life, being so focused on old narratives and old constraints and confinements or old outcomes that are no longer serving you and don't actually have any kind of tangible, logical ties to reality anymore. I'm hearing there's just no true, there's just no truth behind it. So we're being called to release the old attachment to old narratives, the way that things turned out for us, the way that outcomes have played out in the end, the way that other people approached us and made us feel on an emotional level. Also releasing the need for, I'm hearing, second guessing ourselves, undermining ourselves, going above and beyond for others, overextending ourselves, overgiving, not trusting ourselves, relying on others more than ourselves. Okay, thank you, Most High. And moreover, ultimately accepting and immersing ourselves in the emotional conflict and changes of the past. So we're releasing all of that right now. Wow, all of that came out in this Five of Cups. So also here, you see how he is looking at the cups that have spilled here. Well, we're releasing the need to look at the milk that has spilled, I'm hearing. We're releasing the need to look at the wine that has spilled, the water that has spilled. We are looking to release spilled cups, period. So once we release these spilled cups, then we will see that there are two blessings already behind us waiting. Just waiting for you to turn around and see it. Stop looking at the past. Stop looking for the cups to spill over. Stop looking for the emotional ties. Look at this water running through right past those cups. Stop looking for the emotional ties to the narrative that flows past those old attachments to the changes that you wanted to see in your emotions, in your love and happiness, in your relationships, in your intuition, in your own way of being and feeling and just belonging in this world. See that you already do. And then turn around and see that spirit has 2 blessings that are waiting for you. That's the message coming through. Oh my gosh, guys, that's gonna make me cry. That's an amazing message. Okay, so this, let's see what we got here. Okay, so I think that's everything that wants to come out here. So just know, just know, this is the missing piece. Not another sign to obsess over, not another person to chase. I'm hearing not another explanation to decode. And I'm hearing not another moment of overthinking. Right? Not overthinking into that emotional narrative. Not overthinking into those undeniable outcomes that we went through that have no basis in reality anymore. Thank you, Most High. At the end of the day, we are moving into an era where we can trust ourselves, right? Where we can trust our feelings, where we can trust the people that we're allowing into our lives, where we can trust our alignment, where we can trust our balance, where we can trust our vibration, where we can trust the unfolding of our life. Thank you, Most High. I love it. I love it. Okay, so the missing piece was never more suffering, my loves. The missing piece was alignment. And for many of you, you have been trying to solve your life from survival mode. Okay? So you've been trying to solve your life from survival mode. Ultimately, and trying to force clarity, trying to force movement, trying to force answers. I'm hearing trying to force people to understand you, trying to hold everything together while your spirit quietly whispered, this is not the life you're meant to stay tapped into forever. This is not the life you're meant to stay trapped inside of. And what Spirit is revealing now is very powerful. The reason certain things stopped working is because your soul was outgrowing the version of life built around fear. Isn't that amazing? This is a big releasing of the fear, releasing the contradictions of the emotions, releasing the trials and tribulations associated with emotional conflict and change, releasing the need to keep looking for things to go wrong while things are going right behind our back. That's how the message coming through here. So at the end of the day, turn around and let whatever way the right is facing towards your back become the front side. Let that be the side that you see. Let that be the side that you need and breathe into for your destiny. This is where we consciously make the effort. Let me tell you something. This is a conscious effort card. Why? Because it's using the emotions to consciously turn around to pull the black cloak off, the shadow off of us, and stop looking. Oop, look, and then I put the microphone close to me, and then I like tipped it over. All right, so and then take this black cloak off, take the shadow off, and then stop focusing the way we were in the shadow into, right, the problems, into the emotional conflict, into the emotional change, into the emotional unrest, into the emotional duress, into the unsurety, into the unreliability of the intuitive impulses. Releasing all of that, releasing the expectation to be wrong. That's what this is. And ultimately, when we do that, we stop focusing on the spilled cups. We stop focusing on the negative outcomes. We stop focusing on the low vibrational qualities that are around us. And we can turn around and see that right in, look, this is all around you. This is all around him. That means that good, full cups are around you too. You're just seeing only the spilled ones, all right? So release that. We're releasing that. Woo! I love this. And what Spirit is revealing now, that's very powerful, right? Because you kept thinking the breakthrough would come through one more conversation, one more sign, one more apology, one more chance, one more explanation. Wrong. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I love you. But the missing piece is this, okay? It's this. Your peace matters more than the chaos you were trying to fix. I'm going to just say it flat out. Want to see what that looks like on one of these cards? Bam! Look at that. Look at that angel. Just like, it looks like one wing's blocking the sun from, no sun in your eye, and the other one just is lightly over your shoulders, just keeping you safe and comforted. That's what that means. Oh, beautiful. And I'm going to let you know right now, that changes everything. Because once you stop feeding confusion and clarity will appear. That sounded wrong. Once you stop feeding confusion, clarity will appear, okay? Sorry, what I was going to say is because once you stop feeding confusion and conflict, okay? Clarity appears. But at the end of the day, the end result is once you stop chasing, alignment begins moving towards you, right? Once you allow the goodness in your life, your spiritual team to give you the comfort, to give you the peace and protection, and to allow them to make it easier on you, right? To allow them to relieve the conflict, to allow them to ease you through the change. So I keep hearing you were never missing your worth. Ooh, so this is about remembering your worth as well. Yeah. Once you stop abandoning yourself, your energy becomes magnetic again. Woo! And you see the vibration that is emanating you and ultimately is being amplified, aligned, and projected, reflected, and magnetized back to you. So at the end of the day, yeah, I keep hearing you were never missing your worth. You were missing your own permission to fully choose yourself. Wow. And for many of you, this is the moment where the cycle breaks. The overthinking, the waiting, the emotional exhaustion, the fear that your life will never fully come together again or at all. Spirit keeps saying the missing piece is not outside of you anymore, okay? It's not outside of you. It's your boundaries, your discernment, your healing, your willingness to release what keeps disturbing your peace, and your willingness to believe that your future can become softer than your past, right? It doesn't have to be. It's the need, right? The missing piece. This is your boundaries. Set boundaries against these filled cups. We're only accepting the full cups behind us now, and we're only accepting them in the front of us now, okay? We're only accepting the sight of the full cups, right? That's using our discernment so that we know, right? We're making a conscious decision not to be looking at all this negativity and to turn around and start focusing on the blessings that are in our life. This is your healing. This is your willingness to release what keeps disturbing your peace. I can't stress that enough. Look at this. Look at this. In shadow, looking down, okay? Downward view, downward energy, downward low vibration, looking at the negative spilled cups, right? Allowing this to disturb your peace. So we're making the decision, conscious decision, to no longer look at this, to turn around and see this only. The two cups, the two blessings, full cups, emotional fulfillment behind me. Okay. I just really want to drive that home. I don't know why they keep bringing me back to that. I'm sorry. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it go. Okay, so this is truly a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful message. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. If you're still in this reading, I love your energy. And if you're still in this reading, thank you for being in this sacred space with me. I love you unconditionally. Woo, so family, so beautiful, beautiful, beautiful soul. You do not need to keep carrying what the Most High is trying to help you release. Channel message coming through, my loves, for you is: you don't need to force what divine timing is still arranging. You don't need to become smaller just to stay connected to people who only understand who and what you are when you're struggling, okay? Because something shifts the moment you finally realize your peace is not the reward after healing. Your peace is part of the healing. So if this reading found you today, let this be your confirmation. The missing piece was never perfection. The missing piece was never proving your worth. The missing piece was never you being better because you were always good enough. And the missing piece was never chasing what kept running from alignment. The missing piece was returning to yourself. And now that you are, everything begins changing. Everything begins. Let me tell you, this card, I'm sorry I came back to it, but this is only to tell you that this card is the card of emotional changes and conflict. So you're changing from accepting disturbances, lack of boundaries, and conflict and chaos on an emotional or unfulfilling or doubt in yourself. You're releasing all of that from your life. All right. So that's why they want me to do this, what we're about to do right now. So let's do this. We're going to pull some Sovereign Stability Index cards. Now, I love these. These are my favorite because I obviously created them with me and my spiritual team, excuse me. And they house the pillars of reality and life. So we can use them to see what actions we need to take in the future, to see what we need to embody, what mindset we need to be embodying and anchoring in, and what message, pure message, wants to come out from spirit in regards to our energy and what we are aligning with or how to align with our desires fully. So they tell a lot, right? One card can tell you all that. So when you put them together, this magical synergistic thing happens. Well, it tells you the future. But we don't say that, right? Because we don't fix outcomes here. We align you with your destiny. And at the end of the day, what that means is that I align you with a bandwidth, right? The bandwidth is the level experiences that you can have. So whatever your vibration, whatever your feelings inside, and whatever your frequency, whatever your behavior is in the universe, whatever you're frequently doing, equals the bandwidth of experiences that you can have, right? So a homeless person has a different bandwidth than a billionaire, correct? All right, correct. So this is how it works. Now we're gonna align you with that bandwidth that you wanna be aligned with. So I'm tapping in Most High, my guardians and my guides at this time. Whoever's watching, it doesn't matter. In any time and space, okay? Whenever this is for them, let the cards reflect what they need to see, the actions they need to take to align with their destiny. Listen to that. All right, so to do this, we take them in order this way. Oh, this is actually one of my funnest, favorite things to do here. Wow. So we'll do 7. Most High, yes, 7. All right. Oh, 777 might be coming up for some of you. I don't know. Celestial codes are popping out. So we take those when they come. And here we go. Let's get to our 7, my loves. Well, number 1, you are attracting clarity. Amazing. Well, this reading is part of that, I'm sure. So the card says, you're attracting clarity. Confusion is dissolving. Good. So you're starting to see things clearly too. Obviously, you're attracting clarity. The action that you're being asked to take. Now, these actions will help to propel you into whatever it is. You might not see it, okay? You might not see it. You might not understand. Do what it says, you guys. Do what it says if you want to go to your desires. Otherwise, you can not, and then you will see how that works out. So anyway, the action to take is simplify your priorities, right? So maybe you're being too scattered. You might need to reel in your energy, right? We're not focusing on the negative, but we're also not focusing on things that are not serving, and we're also not focusing on anything that might derail our progress at this time. So that is simplifying your priorities, really getting raw and real about what's next, practical steps, and what, reflecting on what's going to give you the most momentum forward at this time. This focus will sharpen your perception of whatever this is that you want to create in your world, or whatever it is you want to experience, and ultimately the direction becomes obvious. Do you see that? So if you do this action, if you simplify your priorities, listen to that. If you simplify your priorities, then your direction becomes obvious. All right, that's number 1. Okay, number 2. The vision clarifies with action. So, indecisiveness at this time is not recommended. Also, focusing on negative narratives or outcomes from the past, anything that left you feeling bewildered or unsatisfied or just gave you grievances in this life. We're being called to release them now, okay? And ultimately, experiment wisely while you take action steps, take inspired action towards your goals, okay? I'm seeing Knight of Wands in my mind's eye. So this is decisive action towards your goals. This is also not, this can be rigid and quick action. This is the kind of energy I don't want to put out Knight of Wands energy with this holy, okay? Because I know I saw it in my mind because it's that kind of quick action. But I'm gonna tell you right now about the aspects of this that are not Knight of Wands. The aspects of this that are not Knight of Wands are the part where you don't think it through. Right? The part where we act and then ask questions later. That part is not in here. That part is not this, okay? This is taking quick and decisive action towards your goals. That is quick and thought out action. Quick and wise action, okay? That's what this is. So this vision will clarify, right? Vision clarifies with action. So as you move forward, right? As you move forward and your direction becomes obvious, that vision will clarify with the action, right? And then your direction will sharpen. So now we see that direction is becoming obvious, and here we see that direction is sharpening. Do you see how this is doing? and that is leading us to strategic focus that is multiplying impact. So now that we know strategic focus multiplies impact, let's talk about it. It's time to narrow the scope. So now we know that we have, right? We have simplified our priorities, okay? And we have experimented wisely while we're taking decisive action, but calculated and quick action, okay? Deliberate action toward our goals. And now we're narrowing the scope, and this is intensifying the results. So your depth is improving your mastery. So there's something that you're building skills into, or there's something that you're doing. So maybe some of you might be in business, or you might be content creators, okay? You might also be functionally, let me just say this. This can be anything. It can be anything. It can be anything of a creative or a professional nature, okay? I'll say it that way. And this shows that your results are intensifying in whatever you're doing. And you're being called to narrow your scope at this time. And you're going to see some amazing results in your life. All right. So the reason that this is being called to your action is because something structural is shifting in your life. So the card says something structural is shifting, and the framework of your life is reorganizing. Man, when I channel these in, I'm telling you, I was in one heck of a trance. Here we go. So stay flexible during changes is what this is talking about. So we're staying flexible as we experiment wisely and narrowing our scope and dissolving all confusion while we simplify our priorities and our direction becomes obvious. See how this is? Do you see how this goes together? All right. So the next one, oh no, that one wasn't done. I'm sorry. That one wasn't done. So stay flexible during these changes, right? Things are going to be shifting in your life. Be prepared. Know that it's happening for you, not to you. What did I say? This is where we change. Well, what would happen? We got rid of the cloak. We got rid of the shadow. That's a big change. We stopped looking at all the negative and waiting for negative things to happen and focusing on the negative results from the past. And we turn around and start looking at the positivity and be optimistic about our future while we realize all the blessings in our lives, because that's what I heard. At the end of the day, that is a huge change. So we're being flexible through that. The integration I'm leaving you with from this card is adaptability secures stability, okay? Being adaptable will help you to be stable in all ways. So remember to be flexible with life because life is happening for you, not to you. Is a big message coming through. Thank you, Most High. At the end of the day, probability and long-term security improve, okay? If you stay flexible during changes, the probability is that your long-term security improves. Period. Right? So this is like roll with the punches energy and watch how things unfold for you eventually, if not instantly. Woo! I love that. Okay, so your next level requires courage. So act courageously, step into your goals, have willpower, trust in yourself, know that you're worthy, know that you're good enough, know that you belong, know that you don't have to be perfect to do what you gotta do, okay? And at the end of the day, know the significance of who you are. Because the divine says what's small in your eyes is huge. Do you hear me, my loves? It's huge in the eyes of the divine. And so move despite uncertainty, right? This is where we are simplifying our priorities and we're moving in spite of I just said it, uncertainty. I'm sorry, I'm going a little bit fast here, but I'm trying not to have you guys in here for too long. All right, so ultimately, we are moving despite uncertainty, okay? And we're experimenting wisely. I'll put these in the order though. You know I'm gonna do that for you. All right, so we don't even have to do that right now. All right. So just remember, growth is uncomfortable but rewarding. And so you're being called to look towards your growth and ultimately to keep mindset. Remember, I told you I'd leave you with the mindset. You are being called to embody and incorporate and anchor in a growth-oriented abundance mindset right now. Okay? And then that confidence from that willpower and that trust and belief in yourself will compound. Right? So we're moving despite uncertainty so that we can let the universe show us, hey, it's okay for me to make decisions and trust myself and look at the positive and stop focusing on the negative from the past, right? It's okay. And we're gonna let the universe prove that. But we gotta move. We gotta take action to do that and let the reciprocation of the universe come to show us that new reality that we so deeply deserve. Oh, I love you guys. And clarity eliminates confusion. Remember that. This clarity will eliminate all your confusion. So define your objectives. This is where you get very clear on your goals, very clear on your outcomes, very clear on your narratives, very clear on the intentions and the energy that you are going to allow in your life, very clear on the relationships and the people who are aligned and will actually benefit and help to serve your highest good and destiny. Woo! Powerful. So focus strengthens, and this requires your execution. So your execution is what is required. I don't even know why I made this so simple. But that, I have a feeling that there's some simplicity here because this is how simple it truly is. This is how simple it truly, look at that. Look at that, that's so simple. Let me explain this in simple terms. Clarity eliminates confusion, period. So be clear and expect to not be confused. Define your objectives, right? That's the action. That's what the Most High is asking us to do right now. Define objectives, get clear on what we want, get crystal clear on what we want, and, ask. Ask. Whatever resonates with you, take it where it resonates, guys. But ultimately, you're being asked to ask one way or another right now. So focus strengthens, right? That's the integration. Focus strengthens. Focus strengthens when you define your objectives, okay? And ultimately, the probability is execution. So that means that there's something here where we're not acting, or we're not acting upon our goals, or we're not going towards our desires, or we're not allowing things to come to us, or we're not focusing on the optimistic and positive outcomes in our lives, or we're focusing too much on old narratives, disturbances, lack of boundaries, emotionally toxic people, situations, substances, person, places. You know what I mean? It's a lot. It's a lot. And right now you're being called to release anything that causes disturbance within you. And so this is a good way to know what it's time to let go. Because if it's causing anxiety, pain, suffering, remorse, grief, sadness, a hollow heart, any lower vibrational energy, anger, resentment, stress in any way, grievances, it's time to release that or transmute it, hand it over to spirit so that it may be either transformed and confirmation birth, confirmation received, transformed, or and recycled or restored and given back to you, or replaced fully, right, with that which serves on a better, deeper level. So, oracle, right? Celestial oracle. Okay, so a big part of that is seeing the signs and symbology in life. And I don't know why I'm being called to even say this right now today. But there's someone in this reading, or maybe there's more than, it's a collective reading, so take it where it resonates. But start looking at the signs. So I'm going to give you 2 signs, right? 2 omens, or oracle omens, okay? Number 1, let's do 2 crows, right? This is my oracle lesson for you guys. And we're probably never going to do this again because I don't know if I'm even supposed to be teaching things like this. But at the end of the day, this is something that oracles do. Okay, and so we can look at the signs and symbology behind our happenings, our environment, birds, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. And we can know how things are going to go, right? It's like the universe's little language that they talk to us. We can do it without cards or without anything. We can do it with anything, right? Okay, the way butterflies fly, left or right, or what color they are, or what color dragonfly it is, or how many birds it is, and what kind of bird it is. All that matters. Okay, so now that we know that, let's talk about crows. If you see 2 crows, remember this. It means you'll have a good day, okay? So start looking for those 2 crows. And really try to position yourself strategically for those 2 crows. Or, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I saw 2 crows, and then, like, get out of there so that you can't see anymore. Or so that, it's like that. Oh, and if you see 2 and then 1 flies away, it doesn't count as 1. All right? It's still the 2. So it's about what you see. All right, so that's 2 living crows, right? This is celestial oracle. You guys are so funny. My spiritual team, I swear, they're just I don't know why they do stuff like this, but they love to show people stuff like this. All right, so number 2, 2 dead crows, right? So we talked about what 2 living crows is. Let's talk about what 2 dead crows is. If you stumble across 2 dead crows, my spiritual team, they're saying get excited. If you stumble across 2 dead crows, get excited. Why? Because 2 dead crows equals the end of all bad things and the beginning of all new and good things in your life. It's a new phase in your life. And a lot of you are entering this, I'm hearing. That's why we're mentioning, I love you, my spiritual team. I love you, my guides and guardians, the Most High. I love all my angels and archangels, ascended masters, elder brothers. That's what I call them, but you guys know them as ascended masters. And so I love you all. Thank you to the higher vibrational infinite beings of light who walk with me. May this place be forever guarded and sacred. And please guard and protect me and all of my viewers from any malice or ill will, toxicity, lower vibrational energy, or ill will directed to them or toward me. Amen. All right. So at the end of the day, that's a powerful message coming through. So when you do this, see this? Focusing on all that negativity. When you turn around, that's the 2 dead crows. It's 2 cups full for you. And what does it equal? Well, it equals, right, the end, cross that out. The end of all bad things, turn around, and the beginning of all new and good things. Those 2 cups behind you. Beautiful message. I love you guys. I'm going to cry. This is a beautiful reading. Stability is earned. Remember that. Stability is earned, so focus on your peace. Focus on your recalibration of your nervous system. Focus on your new life. Focus on your new reality. Focus on your higher vibration. Focus on your consistency. Focus on the love that you still have in your life. Focus on your alignment. Focus on your better days. Focus on the new ways. Focus on the end of all bad things and the beginning of all new and good things. Focus on only having brighter and good days. Focus on the rest of your life because it's up to you. Focus on reality that the Most High is presenting to you. Focus on your destiny and see how beautiful and amazing you truly are in reality. That's the message coming through, guys. So just remain disciplined, okay? Remain disciplined. And remember that your consistency is compounding. So trusting yourself and trusting your decisions, and your prosperity steadies, okay? So you're bringing in a new prosperity, a new life, a new reality, a new way of being, a new way of seeing, right? Where we're not looking at old negative narratives anymore. We are turning around and seeing the positive blessings and full cups in our life. And this is the message coming through for my beautiful collective at this time. So ultimately, the missing piece was returning to yourself. And now that you are, everything begins changing, as I said. If this message resonated, comment, I choose peace over confusion. And as always, beautiful, 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 my beautiful radiant. Beloved celestial soul, I love you, I honor you, and I will see you in my next reading.